On this week's episode of the Rambler Sports Locker, men's soccer has the perfect start to their season, and RSL reporter Connor Bergen catches up with the head coach of the squad after their first win.
Also, everybody's favorite Rambler reaches a major milestone, and RSL reporter Pablo Rosario gives us an update on the NFL kickoff.
Welcome back to the new season of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Gwen Brown.
And I'm Michael Faso. The Ramblers' very own Sister Jean hit a big milestone on August 21st when she celebrated her 100th birthday at Loyola. Along with a big birthday cake, a crowd of people, including news outlets, gathered in Damon Student Center to wish Sister Jean a happy birthday. Sister Jean even got her very own Lego statue from Legoland Discovery Center, which will be in Gentile Arena coming in October. From everyone here at the Rambler Sports Locker, we want to wish Sister Jean a very happy 100th birthday. In other Loyola news, on August 25th, the ribbon to the Alfie Norville practice facility was cut by alumni Alan Norville. His generous donation helped build a new sports facility for Loyola Athletics. The new practice facility was named after Norville's late wife, Alfina.
Loyola's men's soccer team kicked off their season last weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The team hosted a pair of games as part of the Hampton Inn Loyola Chicago Classic. The team opened the event Friday against the Vermont Catamounts. Loyola defeated the Catamounts 2-1. Sophomore Ethan Stoneman scored the game-clinching goal in the 68th minute off a pass from sophomore Fabian Becerra. After the match, RSL reporter Connor Bergen caught up with head coach Neil Jones and Stoneman to discuss what was a chippy first win.
The first game of the season, can you talk about how you think the team did from an execution standpoint?
We won, so that's the most important part. And we had to grind, and we had to battle, and we had to scrap and fight for every inch tonight, and we did, and that's what being a team and having a great culture is all about, and that's something we preach day in, day out throughout the athletic department, not just men's soccer, but I think we exhibited that today and came out with a great win.
From an execution standpoint, we really set our game plan to defend hard, because we knew these guys were going to be big and strong and fast, and we had some moments of just lapses, but all in all, really good defense and execution.
I also noticed a lot of shoving matches, some yellow cards. What were people saying out on the field?
It wasn't really much words. It was mostly action, just like grabbing your shirt, stepping on your shoe, just whatever to get in your head. But obviously that didn't work out for them.
Ever since we lost the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game back in November, we've been waiting for this night. And Vermont's been waiting for this night for a long time as well, and that's just what happens when you wait that long.
I know some of us got yellow cards, including me, but we should really make it like a rule to just keep our heads, keep our cool.
Can you talk about how big it is to get a win on opening night?
Huge. The hardest win every year is the first one, and I really want to thank the great Loyola fans, students, alumni, community that came out tonight. Phenomenal showing, absolutely standing room only. There was not a seat left in the house, and Loyola's a great place to be right now, and really thankful for them coming out and supporting us to this win.
On Sunday, Loyola faced the Northern Illinois Huskies in their second matchup of the Classic. After missed opportunities in the first half, Loyola struck gold in the 76th minute. Senior Aiden Magali scored on the second chance effort after a Loyola free kick entered the ball into the box. The goal gave Loyola a 1-0 victory and their second win of the weekend. The Ramblers finished in first place in the Loyola Chicago Classic. The Ramblers will head to San Francisco to face the Cal State Fullerton on Friday, September 6th at 7 p.m. RSL reporter Tim Edmonds covers the soccer team up close. He's in the studio with us today to discuss the team's hot start and outlook for the season. So Tim, describe the team's makeup and style for this year.
Yeah, they're a very experienced team. They've got 9 seniors coming back. There's a big sense of optimism among the team. In terms of style, Coach Jones has always said they really take pride in their defense. That's going to continue this year, but they're going to be better on the offensive side of the ball. Last year they scored only 1.1 goals per game, and he said they're going to be a lot more offensively strong. And they've had a really good start, and they've been scoring goals. They're off to a 2-0 start, like we said, and then they also defeated Big Ten contender Wisconsin in the preseason. So now they head to California to take on Cal State Fullerton and Loyola Marymount, and they're going to try and close out non-conference schedule undefeated.
Very exciting, very exciting. Who are some players that we should know about before the season gets going?
You got to keep an eye on the midfield. They have one of the best midfields in the country. Gian Magno and Aiden Magali were both All-MVC preseason team, as well as they have a transfer, Justin Suko from South Carolina, who's coming in, who's going to be a really good player for the team. And then you got to look towards their forwards. Up front, they got senior striker Chase Wright, who's going to be a really good scorer for the Ramblers. And they also have wingers Billy Hensey and Fabian Becerra. Both of them are going to be key contributors. They were great contributors for the team last season when they were freshmen.
Nice. What can we expect, lastly, out of the men's soccer team as a whole this season?
You know, I think it's safe to say they're going to contend for the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. It seemed, at least my conversations with Coach Jones, that's where the goal is. They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2016, so that's where the goal is going to lie. And they also host the MVC tournament, which will be at Loyola Soccer Park in the second week of November this year. So that's a huge advantage for them. They're probably the most talented team in the MVC, them and Missouri State. So it's definitely going to be a good year for them, I think. It's also worth mentioning that the team that beat them last year in the MVC championship, Central Arkansas, left the conference. So they're the next ones up, I think, and I think they have a good sense of optimism to get back to the NCAA tournament this year.
Great. Sounds like a very exciting season. Thank you so much for all the insight, Tim.
The women's soccer team hosted their season opener against the University of South Dakota on Friday, August 30th. Loyola's newest Ramblers put the team on the scoreboard in the 13th minute. Freshman Megan Namick assisted graduate senior Simone Wark for the only goal of the first half. Namick was back at it again in the 69th minute when she assisted senior Aleska Tatarin to give the Ramblers a 2-0 lead against the Coyotes. The Ramblers held on to defeat the Coyotes 2-1. On Sunday, September 1st, the Ramblers were in Muncie, Indiana to face off against Ball State Cardinals. Ball State scored off a free kick in the 25th minute. Then the Cardinals found the back of the net again in the 67th minute to take a 2-0 lead. Namick put the Ramblers on the scoreboard late in the second half. Loyola couldn't complete the comeback, and Ball State took the 2-1 victory. Namick's productive weekend earned her an honor on the Missouri Valley Conference Women's Soccer Newcomer of the Week.
Loyola's women's volleyball team attended the Blue and Gold tournament last weekend, hosted by the University of Toledo. Loyola opened tournament play against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers on Friday, August 30th. The teams traded wins in the first 4 sets to knot up the match at 2 sets apiece. Then the Hilltoppers broke away in the decisive 5th set, 15-10, to win the match 3-2. Freshmen Taylor Venuto and Addie Barnes were bright spots for the Ramblers in the loss. The duo combined for 30 kills in their collegiate debuts. Loyola played their last 2 games of the weekend on Saturday, August 31st. The first was against the North Dakota State Bison. Loyola won the first set 25-16. After dropping the second set, Loyola took set 3, 25-23, then closed out the match in the 4th set 25-17 to secure the 3-1 victory. Redshirt senior Heather Cocken powered the win with a career-high 17 kills. The Ramblers' final match of the weekend was against the University of Toledo. Loyola redshirt senior Maddie Moser set a single-match program record of 40 digs. The 40 digs were not enough as the Ramblers fell in 5 sets. Toledo came back from a 2-1 hole to take the 5th set 18-16. Along with Moser's career day, Quinn Speaker tallied 20 kills. The Ramblers' next home match and home opener is Thursday, September 5th, where they will take on Stephen F. Austin in the Gentile Arena.
Chicago is officially back in football mode as the NFL season kicks off this weekend.
RSL reporter Pablo Rosero is here to give us the lowdown on the top contenders for the Lombardi Trophy.
The 100th season of the NFL is upon us. With that in mind, let's take a look at my top 5 teams heading into what I expect to be a wild 2019-2020 NFL season. Leading off the list at number 5 is the hometown Chicago Bears. Year 2 of Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy's offense should bring about an improved passing game. The run game, with the addition of Iowa State rookie running back David Montgomery, should look better too. The Bears' biggest loss is defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who is now the Denver Broncos head coach. However, former Indianapolis Colts head coach Chuck Pagano is now in control of a star-studded defense that shouldn't take a major step back in Khalil Mack's second year on the team. The reigning NFC champs come in at number 4 as they seek redemption after a rather pathetic Super Bowl performance. For the Rams, a healthy Todd Gurley is what stands in the way of them being ranked second. However, a healthy Cooper Kupp and the drafting of electric Memphis running back Darrell Henderson should keep this offense on par with last season, while defensive tackle and last year's Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald will have this defense near the tops of every important category. At number 3, and the highest-ranked NFC team on this list, are the Drew Brees-led New Orleans Saints. After the bitter loss to the LA Rams in the NFC Championship game, New Orleans are moving on from that botched pass interference call with their core of Brees, running back Alvin Kamara, and wide receiver Michael Thomas still intact. With the addition of tight end Jared Cook, this Saints team will be a force to be reckoned with as they seek revenge. Coming in at number 2 are the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, the sensational MVP winner from last season, is leading the charge for a new-look Chiefs team. An improved defense could help push this team over the top, as we expect much of the same from Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. The reigning champs remain at the top of the NFL world heading into this season. This Patriots team may have lost tight end Robert Gronkowski and defensive end Trey Flowers, but they add wide receiver N'Keal Harry, defensive end Michael Bennett, and a reinstated Josh Gordon. As long as this team has Tom Brady and Bill Belichick running the show, it is hard to ever count them out of a potential Super Bowl appearance. That's all from this week's Rambler Sports Locker Top 5. I'm Pablo Rosero. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Pablo. I'm quite excited for this year's football season. How about you?
Not really, but I can fake it till I make it. All right, for our full episodes and chance to get in on the conversation, follow and like our social media handles for an up-to-date look at all things Rambler Sports.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Gwen Brown.
And I'm Michael Faso. Check back next week for another episode of the Rambler Sports Locker.
And as always, don't forget to turn out the lights.